Hello, hello, Kendra.
Hi, good morning.
And welcome everyone to the couch.
Glad to have you here. We have Kendra Olson here, perinatal specialist. So exciting.
So fancy.
You are. I mean, you are. Own it, Kendra. That is your population.
Yeah,
for sure.
It is.
Our
yes.
special guest.
Yes.
Very special.
Yeah. And something we all have in common is that we work with women in the perinatal stage. Let's start off with some unfiltered moments. I'll start us off. So a big shift moving from Minneapolis out to the St. Croix River Valley. A big loss for me has been groceries. I've really struggled to find like organic groceries, just like variety. So I had a recipe yesterday and it wasn't convenient to go to Stillwater, picking up the kids, got to grab something before we're all hangry for dinner, right?
Yes.
The last ingredient I couldn't find was cilantro. The store was all out. I was about to give up and just drive home and we're just going to have a bland meal without cilantro. And then I realized, oh my gosh, we have this beautiful garden stand like on my very road.
On your very road? Wow.
Namesake Farms, I believe it's called.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, we have lived here for 2 years and my husband and I have always said, oh, we should really stop there, and never have.
Yeah.
Like literally a couple times a day we drive by. So it's 5:40. They close at 6. I'm like, I'm going to give it a chance. I pulled in there and she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. We don't have any here. You know, we have it out on the field, but you know, it's busy. People are picking up their CSAs. Otherwise I'd have him go grab you a bunch. And I just kind of talked to her for a while and apparently I buttered her up.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
And she called Mike or whoever it was. Can you grab a bunch of cilantro? 10 minutes later, he comes on the side-by-side, big ass thing of cilantro, fresh from the field. Still like wet and dirty.
That's so much better than the store. Wow.
Extra wash.
It was. Yes. Oh my gosh. And the smell, just so fresh. So there's pros and cons of living in this rural area. I mean, lots of pros, but I'm starting to like, I just got to get creative and lean into these local people that have what I need outside of the grocery store.
You know what occurred to me is this is where they come from. Like, why are we getting it from the grocery store?
You're so right.
Well, what are we doing?
Oh my gosh, go to the farm.
Yeah.
When you can.
They are delivering to the grocery stores. Why are we not going to the farms? We are out by the farms.
And
light bulb.
Yeah, like go to the source. You're so right.
Yeah.
And you guys, I mean, I should have brought you both some cilantro. It's such a huge bunch of it.
Use.
What am I going to do? I also got a thing of fresh baked everything but the bagel and cheddar bread.
Ooh,
somebody else
that
was
sounds
there.
Awesome.
Talked me into tomatoes, like this little tray.
Oh, they're probably
she said
so
they're the best.
Yeah.
$14
Oh,
for all of this.
Okay, we gotta be going to the farms.
In the cities,
right?
Never.
I know.
What are we doing?
The cilantro would have been $14.
Yeah.
Yes.
So anyway, what
That's
do you got, Camila? Beat that.
Oh my gosh. Mine's a little bit different. It's about all the hundreds of books that I'm reading all at the same time. I don't know what's going on, but let's see. I am reading currently a book about perimenopause.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even finish the other one about perimenopause yet. I started another one.
That sounds like perimenopause.
Yeah.
So.
And you know what? Who
sounds
cares?
right?
If a book isn't like,
that's true.
Got you? Let it
Yeah.
go. You can feel guilty about
it. Was a little bit dry. Yeah.
Like,
and
Yeah. That was a good one.
Yeah. And then I'm reading another book about ADHD. And then I went to this bookstore. Oh, this is another side note to the Unfiltered moment. I went to this bookstore. They just opened this bookstore in Lindstrom here. Breyer's Books. It's wonderful. It's a neurodivergent LGBTQ bookstore.
Stop.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. They have pride
yes.
flags everywhere. It's
Wow.
incredible. I love it. Books and tea. Yeah. And I got those 2 books there. So I got that perimenopause book and I got a book about crows. So, you know.
Camila loves crows.
Yeah.
You do.
That's something early in our relationship I learned. I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
I love that about you.
Unexpected, but cool.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that was my unfiltered moment in our Halloween episode that
Did
I
you love crows?
Yeah, that I really like going outside in the fall and when there's just like a random crow.
How do they sound,
like,
Camila? What's the sound they make?
They go crow.
They're saying crow.
Yeah. That's where the name comes from.
Oh my gosh. Is that true?
No.
The same thing.
Interesting.
Wait, am I dumb? I didn't know that. Is that true?
Well, like
Crow.
chickadee, right? Chickadee.
Oh,
Oh,
true.
is that? Didn't know
It
that.
is.
Yeah.
I think.
That's how we learned it in school.
Well, that
yeah.
makes
That's-
sense.
Yeah.
We'll go with
Okay.
it.
I think we're going to go with it. Okay. Love it.
And I got a crow tarot deck too.
You did.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
It's very
Okay,
cool.
we should have started today off pulling some cards. That would have been fun.
Oh.
I wasn't sure how.
Next
I
time.
didn't want that to be my first introduction to Kendra. Is me with my crow tarot deck, guys.
I dabbled in college
Kendra'd be
with
into
tarot
it.
cards. Had no idea what I
Okay,
was
yeah.
doing. I thought they were cool. It's fine.
Fantastic.
Great.
All right. Kendra, what do you got? They're always
Yeah.
different flavors, so I'm anticipating it's going to be something different.
Yeah, well, I would call it maybe like a nostalgic glimmer to my week. That was unanticipated but nice, and to share with my girls.
Sweet.
I have 2 girls; they're 6 and 8. But I'd seen last weekend there's a reboot of Little House on the Prairie coming out.
Yeah.
right.
Saw that too. Mhm.
So, I had said to them, I was like, I kind of want to watch that, and then I was like, do you girls want to watch the original, like what Mom and Dad watched when we were really little in the 80s? And they were game. So we've been watching, rewatching. I mean, how many years ago was that?
Right.
The episodes, and the 2 of us that are most excited are me and my husband.
Oh, for sure. The
We
girls
do,
are like, I
right?
guess.
My youngest she's into it. Well, maybe a side funny about my oldest, but yeah, it's just been like the show was so part of my childhood. I grew up with 2
Yeah.
sisters, right? There's 2 little girls in the family, yada yada.
Yes.
And just rewatching it and being like, was it, because I do recall it being like intense storylines, right?
Yes.
For a family and kind of a lot of
Yeah.
trauma. Like if it would still feel that scary, and I warned my youngest especially
Yeah.
too, because she's a little more sensitive in respect to that. Like
Yeah.
there's some maybe scary stuff that, in some of
Yeah.
the scenes. The funny moment, the other night we were like episode 2 or 3, and they've introduced the girls. The family's moved now to
Oh, the big farm.
to
Or
oh
what
my
are they-
god, yeah, they built
big
a new
woods?
house, right? So now they're in. It's not Sleepy Eye anymore. What are they calling it? I'm totally having a brain fart.
Hollow? Sleepy Hollow?
They live next to Plum Creek.
Okay.
Creek, but like the city, right, that they locate or relocate to. So they've met Nellie, right? She was the
Okay.
blonde with the spiral curls who is
Yes.
very mean.
Yes.
And she calls
Coming
them country girls the minute Laura and her sister Mary go to school for the first day. So we're watching this, and my oldest is the least invested in television for more than 10 minutes, right? And she's like coloring, doing her own thing. And it's a scene, and Nellie shoves Laura, right? She's just a meanie. I was like, God, she is really mean. And my daughter goes, she's doing something totally else. She goes, yeah, Nellie's a real B word.
Oh my God.
And I was like, 1, didn't think you were paying attention. 2, where have you heard that word? We don't call women the B word. But of course, my husband and I are just laughing.
Mhm.
Of course.
Just moment of like,
Oh, I love it.
okay, well, that's her takeaway from
Yep.
the show. And
Yep.
I was like, well, you're not. She's really mean.
You're not wrong.
You're
Yeah.
unkind.
She's very, very mean.
Okay,
Mhm.
where
Yeah.
do you watch these originals?
So these are
wanna do
on
this.
Prime.
Okay.
At least with our membership is
Yep.
free. And then I think the reboot's on Netflix. I
Yes.
didn't dig enough if it's out or you can already watch
Okay,
it.
I'm not sure about that either.
Mhm. And then now I'm kind
Fine.
of not. I don't know if I need to watch the new one.
Okay.
I thought for sure I would, but now
Okay.
I mean, this will be like 10 years of episodes of the original, so we
Mhm.
might not get to the new one.
and I don't feel like I really watched the episodes as much as read the books.
Yeah,
So I
I think
wonder-
we did the books and then, well,
Okay.
yeah, it must have been the order.
Yep.
But yeah, we did the books, I think, too. I don't remember those as well, but
That is nostalgic.
yeah.
What is the correlation between the kids that watch or read Little House on the Prairie and becoming therapists?
Because you too?
Yeah.
The
I mean,
trauma,
Yeah.
like feeling it deep in your bones.
I know,
Wanting to
right?
help
The
people.
fire, Mary goes
Yeah.
blind. Like,
Yeah.
there's some major
Forgot about this stuff.
Yes.
Ooh.
Mhm. This poor family.
Mon
Yeah.
Pa.
Mom, Pa. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay, you've inspired me. I think I'm going to add
Take
it to
it,
my list.
do it
I think your girls would like that
I
too.
think they
Yeah.
would. I think
Yeah.
they would. I have to ask Anne
Mhm.
with an E. Have you watched that? I feel like
No.
kids would kind of like that too, and about
Oh.
that same like kind of time era. It's on Netflix. It's based off of Anne of Green Gables. It's
Oh,
very,
sure.
very sweet. You would love it too,
Okay.
Camila.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that does sound up their alley.
Okay.
Good call.
Okay.
Awesome.
Well, today we're talking all about matrescence. Is a topic that, yeah, I think all of us touch on in our therapy work, and it's kind of Kendra's jam.
I do like talking
So,
about it.
yeah, we're just gonna have a convo about that.
Who's heard of matrescence?
That's usually the first question.
Yeah.
Who was told about it before they became a mom?
Yeah.
I don't think many
Nobody?
people have. Yeah.
Nobody?
Mm-mm.
We have touched on it on the podcast. Does anybody want the definition? I think that's kind of
a good
important.
idea. Yeah.
Yeah. It's Diane somebody. I know that.
Yes.
I don't know why.
1970s. Like it's been around for a long time.
But
That's the
just started
thing.
to talk about.
Yes.
Even I
Ooh.
feel like 7 years ago, we just
Yeah.
started talking.
It had its moment, like what, a couple months ago on social media.
Yeah.
Did
I know
it?
I don't see much.
Yep.
It did have a moment. Yeah. There was like a I think it was Peanut put out an ad about it, or that
What's
is where I saw it. I
Peanut?
don't remember. It's an app where you can like make mom friends, and I
Oh,
think
cute.
they do other stuff.
Shout
I'm
out
not
to
totally sure.
Peanut.
Yeah. I should know more
Okay.
about it. I follow them on Instagram. That's all I know. They put a lot of good, like, motherhood content that is
Oh, I'll have to check them out.
supportive of mothers.
Okay. I was close. It's Dana.
Oh, Dana. Okay, yeah.
Okay. A term originally coined by anthropologist Dana Raphael in the mid-1970s, matrescence is essentially the process of becoming a mother. That's not the best definition from the bump. Should we do Cambridge University?
Oh, that sounds real fancy.
Okay.
Yeah.
The process of becoming a mother. Those physical, psychological, and emotional
go.
changes
Yes.
you go through after the birth of your child now have a name. Matrescence.
Yes.
The process of becoming a mother, which anthropologists call matrescence, has been largely unexplored in the medical community. Imagine
No
that.
way.
Imagine that. Women's
Wow.
health not
Yeah.
being majorly explored. Okay.
Surprise.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, a few examples. Matrescence, the developmental phase of new motherhood, is like adolescence.
Yeah.
A transition when hormones surge, bodies change, and identity and relationships shift.
Yes. I like the developmental phase.
You smell different. You feel different.
Oh, yeah. Right? They left out smell.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So why aren't we talking about aren't people why do we all think we haven't been educated about this before becoming a mom? Like, why is that not part of our experience?
Good question. Perhaps multiple variables.
Yeah. Anyway, we should be.
I think most, what comes up for me is that so often we focus on the baby. So we have the baby books and like how to prepare for baby and how to parent and
birth.
Yeah, and
the physical act of
exactly.
giving birth.
Yep. How to prepare for birth, your birth plan, and then moms get dropped off after that. It's all about then the baby, but not so much tending to the mom.
Absolutely.
Well, I think there's a belief that, societal belief that for women, this is just natural, it's instinctual, and so why do you need a bunch of support or prepreparation? Right? Because you'll just do it and you'll figure it out and it's fine.
Right.
Maybe that we don't, I think about, when I had my kids, like getting the big binders from the hospital when I was still pregnant. That was all about, of course, the birth, which it should have, should have been included. But I do think there was some mental health stuff in there.
Sure.
I mean, I guess I should double check. There was nothing in there with the word matrescence, but I'm pretty sure there wasn't.
I don't
directly
think so.
talked to me about it.
Right.
Or people talked about the hard, I think, that probably we could put under matrescence. Nobody's used that word, though.
Yep.
Right? You won't be able to do it all. You'll feel like you're failing everywhere. But it's normalized. Almost just expect to feel that way.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about it. There's no other way to feel.
Totally. Suck it up, in other words. This is a part of the package.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. No, that's such a good point. And I think, probably there was the information about postpartum depression and anxiety, things to look out for.
Yeah, but not even that much. I feel like even
Yeah,
these
it's a blip, like a
days,
little
yeah.
blip.
For sure. But, matrescence and perinatal mental health, like disorders, those things can go together, but they're not necessarily always both present. You might not have postpartum depression or anxiety, but anybody that becomes a mother is going through matrescence.
Yes. 100%.
Those
That's
huge
so
changes.
true. Yeah. No, and I feel like I'm seeing more clients in my practice that, obviously it's hard. It's an assessment phase, right? As you get to know a client and kind of all they're dealing with. And certainly a lot of those clinical symptoms can kind of be hidden or you're teasing apart. Are you feeling sad because of this matrescence experience? Or are you feeling sad because you are depressed? You have clinical level symptoms.
Right.
But it's like this group now in a good way, right, that's informed. So they come in either I have some new clients, I think, that do have heard the word matrescence, right?
Yeah.
Or at minimum, they're much more informed about like PMADs, right? Perinatal mood and anxiety disorders.
Yeah.
Which is great. But they first think that's what's happening. And we get into work, right? And we're like, and not in minimizing what they're experiencing, but it is kind of like not pathologizing something that isn't pathology. It's like, oh, you feel really anxious when your partner leaves for the night and it's just you and your 3-week-old baby. Makes sense, right? Versus like, oh, you're too anxious about this.
Right.
Or maybe you have postpartum anxiety.
Right.
That sometimes it almost seems like this pendulum swing as we try to be more informed about it is like,
extremes, one or the other.
Yeah. But it's a good point, Richard. And sometimes they do have, it's both.
Right.
Like they're experiencing postpartum depression within matrescence, which is really complicated.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think just it's so important to normalize. This is part of the experience for many people, but giving it a name, I feel like makes it not be minimized.
Yeah.
It's a validation of, yes, this is part of it. And we need support. Like we talked about adolescence, just like adolescents need support going through that change. We as mothers deserve that support as we phase into this next iteration of ourselves.
Yeah, I think to acknowledge that it's not just like, okay, you have the baby and then you're back to normal. Like this is just your normal life now, but with baby. No, you're going through this whole developmental and evolutionary stage. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think too, I mean, there can be some grief in that, that things will never be the same.
So big. Yes.
Like they will never be the same. And acknowledging that grief and helping people through it, because I think our society does expect, getting your pink back, that we're just going to bounce back. It's like you said, Camila, it's like you plus a baby. Well, but it's you 5.0 or whatever plus a baby.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, totally.
How do you talk about matrescence to clients, Kendra? So how would you describe it to them, or how would you bring it up?
Yeah, it was just like seeing yesterday. I had a new client kind of start yesterday. It was, I think, 3 weeks, maybe postpartum, right? And just said to her, because I was kind of hearing, yes, maybe a little anxiety there, right? But also like giving her a name, and she hadn't heard of the term before, but kind of talking about part of what you're feeling may be coming from this experience of matrescence, which is this developmental phase. And often using that right comparison to adolescence, because I think that can help us, like, is an easy way to think about. Everybody validates how radical that change can feel at the time, and usually remembers at least parts of it, right, in their own experience. Kind of feeling all out of sorts, right? That, thinking about like what's physically changed, what's emotionally changed, how are your relationship with your partner, often if they're partner, right? Or even friendships, how are those changing already? Right? I'm not in as much contact with my friends. Totally makes sense, right? Or I'm finding myself really pissed off with my husband all the time. Makes sense, right? Like, just kind of thinking about everything that's changed, and it's like radical. Like I feel that word is so necessary in the description.
Radical.
To like give enough like validity to why that can make your nervous system and your sense of self and identity feel so shaken and like what is happening or what's going on. And I feel like the other piece with a lot of moms I'm focusing on is like, we're trying to help you move from like personalizing, this is a failure piece because you feel XYZ way, to like, oh, it makes sense you feel this way, right? Or just looking at like, what's the context here in which you're having a baby?
Sure.
The societal context, the
Our system.
pressures, the systems, right? The archetype you're supposed to meet as being the perfect mom or the new mom or whatever, right? That's also putting a ton of pressure on you,
Yep.
and it's probably increasing,
Mhm.
you know, all these more difficult feelings. And then if you're not feeling the way you think you're supposed to feel, almost always, I mean, I'm sure you
Right.
guys see, like, with your clients, they think something's wrong with them.
Right.
There isn't this, you know, first, like, wait, what was I had a client once say, I think it was the word duped. It was a word or synonymous with that I thought
Yeah.
was so perfect. She's like, I feel like I was duped.
Mhm.
Totally. That is a really good way to put it.
Totally.
And also helps move like, right, like the self-blame
It's
and
not about me.
shame to like, oh, I was sold this story that it would look like this.
Well, so much
100%.
shame, how it feels
Yes.
so internalized, and then people hide it, and shame
Yes.
loves secrets.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
right?
so much shame about the whole process and comparing ourselves to other moms, but other moms are keeping it a secret too.
Totally
Mhm.
right.
And then just functioning in this and then coming to see a therapist that specializes in this and hearing that validation and
Oh.
externalizing it and recognizing, oh, this is outside of me. This is
Mhm.
a whole
Yes.
process that we all go
System.
through. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And most people in your position would have feelings very similar to this.
Yeah.
You are not unique, you know?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, just hearing you kind of explain that and picturing your interaction with your client, I found myself kind of even just having like an exhale of like, oh, that's gotta feel
Mhm.
so good to hear.
Yeah, I
you
hope
know?
so, right?
Yeah.
Like why we, you know, I think sometimes, especially when
Yeah.
it's really newly postpartum,
Yes.
it's like a sleep deprivation, right? Or like,
Yes.
you know, other little changes and transitions that can happen. Partner goes back to work. Maybe they're going back to whatever it is,
Yeah.
right? That's like, and then think about that stuff that's also just happening and how we have to parent under what conditions in a
Yeah.
way we have to parent in 2026 that
Right.
add to, you know, yeah, we normalize like, yeah, of course you go back to work in 3 months, maybe 6 weeks even if you're lucky. Like
Yeah.
that's just how you do it, right? That we don't, I think till we're in it, don't, or, you know, kind of widen that perspective of like, why is that what most of us do? Why is that how this, you know, most companies are set up and what they give for benefits? Like,
Yep.
you know,
Yep. And then there's the complicated feelings that come with, I feel like I've had so many clients where they are walking alongside of friends that are at this same, you know, life stage. Maybe we both had babies around the same time and she is dreading going back to work. And I'm so embarrassed to say, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Like, get me out of here. I need some normalcy. I need to get back to
Yeah.
that routine. And like underneath all of that, though, wouldn't it be nice to have some more systems in place where we were supported to make whatever choice we needed to in that moment?
Totally, right? Yes.
Like companies that would allow
yeah.
longer leaves, or if you're ready to come back, like that's great too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to almost like align or fall in line with whatever the company's value is, even
Right.
if it's a mismatch with what you're feeling you need.
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Stressful. It's like kind of bringing me
It's like,
back.
I know.
Oh.
It does.
Yeah.
It's hard not to. The other challenge of this
Oh.
work, right, is like
Right. Parsing out your own
compartmentalizing
shit.
your
Yeah.
own stuff to the
Yeah.
side when you're like,
Mhm.
you know, looking at this
Especially if
new
you're
mom
close
and
to
sleep
it, yeah.
deprivation and like, oh God, it is just.
Well, it's so funny. You know, Kendra, Carrie, and I tried recording this episode, I think a year ago when it was like one of our first few episodes.
Yeah.
And my son was 2 at the time. He's turning 3 now.
Yeah.
And I was so still like in it where I was like,
Yeah.
I can't do this. I think we recorded like 10 or 15 minutes and I was like,
We tried.
I can't speak about this. This is like, like, what am I even saying? Like,
I'm too tired to think.
yeah.
Yeah, it's too intense.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's
Yeah.
very true. When my where I used to work before I had my own practice, she approached me. I think I'm trying to think, because my second turned 6 months, like right around COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. No, it was my first. Oh my God. See,
Yeah.
perimenopausal brain.
Yeah.
With my first part of the story, she approached me, do you want to join a reproductive mental health team? I think I was 6 months with my first. That's what it was. And I was like, part of me says like, this seems like something I might be passionate about. And the other part was just like, I think I need a little more time.
Yeah.
I think I just like, I need to not be 6 months postpartum
Yeah.
/ like be processing. At the time, I didn't have that word. I only,
Yeah.
matrescence
Yeah.
was literally in doing work more consistently with moms.
Yeah.
But that I just knew I was like, yeah, no, I can't. I don't know that I can speak in almost a removed enough way, right? Or just like, if I'm like in it, you
to be
kinda,
helpful.
yeah, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Absolutely. Yeah. So then you did have some more space from it. Tell us your journey to private
Sure.
practice. It'd be interesting to hear.
Yeah. So yeah, I opened my practice about 3.5 years ago.
What's the
And
name
before
of your
that,
practice?
Psychotherapy for Maternal Well-Being.
Oh, beautiful.
And
Right
too
there.
long.
You know what you're getting into.
Well, that was my, I actually laughed. My younger sister is a therapist as well and had been doing her own practice longer than I had. She'd been solo longer than I had.
Yeah.
But she helped me brainstorm a name, and I just wanted it to totally encapsulate exactly what I was doing. But now, of course, from a business perspective, I'm like, yeah, it's a little too long. I have to shorten it too.
Yeah.
And I think people don't, they refer to you by name, right?
Right. Kendra Olson, everybody.
Yeah.
Kendra Olson.
Minneapolis. Yep, Minneapolis and virtual. So I was at a really large healthcare system prior to that, and part of the reproductive mental health team, like I said, probably for about 6-7 years.
So you did say yes to that, but
eventually
I did. I think,
okay.
Oh gosh, I can't remember the exact. Actually, I think what I did probably when my first daughter was about a year, I did the PSI training, the 2-day, right?
Just dipping your toes.
Then I was in.
Yeah.
So when I came back, kind of like, official. So it's probably maybe a year and change.
Okay.
Technically after I'd had my first daughter, but
you were ready.
I was, yeah. So I did both that, and then of course had a general population of folks there, and then had a second. COVID happened. Had reduced my hours at that point because just like too much, right?
Yeah.
And then eventually was like, I know other people doing this by themselves.
Yeah.
I've never wanted to own my own business. I thought it sounded like way too much work and skills I did not have. But then, I just did enough groundwork that I needed to do for my own self to feel like some confidence that I could do it. And so launch kind of didn't. I mean, I'm lucky enough to have a partner that had a secure job at the time that I was like, I'm just gonna quit now and throw myself in, so I didn't have to do too much. Like, I mean, it was the first year was, probably I met you in that first year or something like that. Yes, well,
just flying the plane as you build it. Yep.
Yes, that's a good way to put it.
Totally.
Yeah.
And
So,
here you are.
Here I am. Yeah, wouldn't go back
Fantastic.
for it at all. And it's just as I'm sure for you guys too, the being a mom who also works outside of the home, like having the flexibility. I'm my own boss. I got to say to my daughter this morning, she was like, what she asked me, kind of, why does daddy have to go into the office? My husband goes into his office to work most days. And I said, well, daddy works for a boss, and the boss gets to tell him essentially what to do, but mommy is my own boss, and I get to decide what I'm doing.
Model that boss.
Hey, I didn't think
boss B word.
Boss B word. I want to say B word, but I love it.
That's the only context we can say that word.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That's what I'll teach her. So
love it.
It's been great.
Awesome. Okay, Kendra, I want to know, what is it about this population that why do you love to work with them? You said you did the PSI training and you were like, I'm in. This is my population.
Yeah.
What is it that lights you up?
I mean, I think obviously, like, having been through the experience and still in it, right? Of course, even with older kids, like yourself, is what probably ties most of us therapists to the population we might work with.
Sure.
And I don't know, I just feel a real passion for like, just when I see these clients that, and for us collectively as women, that there's so much like misappropriation of like inadequacy and failure and blame. And
Yeah.
we don't see like the systems, especially if you are privileged, right?
Yep.
Privileged. I'm white.
Yep.
Yes, I'm a woman, but like I have a lot of other privilege that
Right.
when I became a mom, and I had somebody else say this to me actually that was like, oh my God, you're so right. Maria Bossert is who said this. I'll
Yeah.
give her credit because she's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
I
you
know
her.
Maria.
Yes. You housed with her for a little bit.
That's right.
Office
And
with her.
Amelia.
Yeah.
It's such a small world when you
It
start
is.
talking about this.
It
Yeah.
totally is, which is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
She had said to me, I don't know if she remembers this, I don't think I've ever actually told her this, but she was like, oh yeah, I didn't totally understand or like feel the impacts of like living in a patriarchal society and what that means for motherhood until I got into motherhood. And I was like, you are so right.
Wow.
Because you just aren't as affected by it, or
Yeah.
maybe don't feel it in the same ways. And that was most certainly my experience. And once I had like labels like matrescence or just understanding like, oh, why do I feel all this guilt to be dividing my time, but my husband doesn't seem to feel that, or at least not in the same ways? Like, where's that coming from?
What a great thing to touch on. I think we should dive into that a little bit more.
Sure.
Yeah.
We could spend hours, probably, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Seriously.
Yeah.
The mom guilt. There isn't dad guilt. Going to a doctor's appointment, it's expected. A dad bringing a child to a doctor's appointment. Holy wow. You're
It's a
super
trophy.
dad.
Yes.
So nice of you to take off work to
different.
be here.
Right? Yeah. So yeah, I think just, yes, personal experience / it's just on the other side of it is really nice to see when clients can get to like kind of some of their own personal unique, they don't have to mine exactly right, like aha moments for their own experience of like, oh yeah, there's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with you, right? With how you're feeling or whatever, there's nothing wrong with you.
Yeah.
And how do how do we help you like create the life you want? How do you want your motherhood to look? Doesn't need to look like so and so's down the street, right? Or anybody else's.
Or your own moms.
Yes, or your own moms. Like, how do you do this? Let yourself dream, right? Because so many out here, and not, of course there's barriers, economic barriers, whatever it might be, of course, in everybody's situation, but just like, okay, if you could remove this for a second, you thought about what you want this picture to look like. What does it look like for you? How much are you working? Are you not working out of the home? Whatever it is, like, what's this arrangement you have with your family unit that makes things flow the way you want to experience this? And then they can actually maybe see some things that are attainable. Even if it's not the dream, like, at least maybe it's more attainable than they thought it was.
Yeah. But so you're like a possibility coach.
Oh, maybe I'll put that on my website.
Possibility.
It's
trademark
so
it.
interesting to hear like different people's takes, or like how I would bring a client down a certain path and you would have another.
Yeah.
I love that. How do you want just empowering women to choose?
Yes.
Is a big part of the work you do.
Yes,
Good
that's
stuff.
a good way to summarize it. Thank
Good
you.
stuff.
I'll use that now.
Yeah.
I think the thing I want to also point out and highlight is, just to remind everyone, matrescence is not a disorder. Matrescence is what everyone goes through. So to think like, oh, I heard from my therapist about matrescence, now there's another, and it's like, no. It's
label.
Like,
I have the matrescence.
Yeah, I have the matrescence. I have the adolescence.
Oh my gosh. Such a good point. Yeah, just foundationally, we all have this as a part of us.
Yeah. And it's probably right. I read and see kind of the smarter people than me that argue like it's lifelong. Like, I mean, we do think about a lot, of course, when you become a mother, those early phases, but I can totally see how like, even my kids started school age. It was like, oh, all right, this is another iteration I wasn't thinking about, and how my identity as mom, or just like, I had never thought about having kids that weren't like really little on babies.
Totally.
I got two like
school
kids.
Children. kids. Yeah, not even toddlers, but kids.
Right.
Yeah, and who do I want to be as this mom in this phase?
Yes.
And it's so interesting how, I mean, at your core, you're going to have a lot of the same values from when you were a newer mom, all the way through the end of your life. But there's this change that comes in you alongside of like your child's growth kind of dictates that.
Yes. Yeah, that's
Like,
a good way to put it.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
who am I as a school age mom versus
Yeah.
who am I when I'm sending my kids off to college?
Right.
Or now I'm an
Totally.
empty nester mom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we're kind of walking this path with our kids as they shift, we shift.
Yeah. A mom of a baby and a mom of a toddler and a mom of a teenager or a preteen is very different. Yeah. Our identity
The
shifts.
span.
Mhm, mhm. So mom guilt, Camila, what do you want to say? How do
What
we
do you
even
say about it?
encapsulate?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Kendra, do you remember your first mom guilt moment? I've shared mine on here.
I
And
think I have too. In
Yeah.
an unfiltered
Yeah.
moment. Yeah.
yeah. Or one that
Oh,
stands out, maybe not
yeah.
first.
I was like, huh. Oh, there it is. It was with my first and having breastfeeding difficulties. And granted, I do think, right, you think about all of that going on at that time, right? However, it was complicated and the amount of work it was / sleep deprivation did not help, right? How you be rational. But yeah, that was it. It was like, and I wanted to stop. And the anguish at that time to be like, is that okay? Oh my God. And
Yeah.
yeah.
What did you end up doing?
Well, I did end up stopping. Yes, kind of finding a different, ultimately we moved to, there were some variables about, production, of course, and all the stuff. And I did anticipate I'm have trouble. Which was also the like clincher that like, I was like, well, I know I might. So
Yeah.
like that'll be, if I don't, that's okay. And then suddenly I was in it and I was like, why am I feeling so awful and guilty about this? Because I was prepared to
I already
know it
gave
would be
myself
hard. I was like, yeah, it'll be fine.
Until you were in it. Isn't
Well,
that
until you're
funny?
in it, yeah. And I think I also understand, like, right, as we see with clients, like, feeding difficulties early on, like, I just think, right, there's that direct, your primal, your nervous system is so wired to, like, your first job and only job right away is you better feed that baby.
Yeah.
Right.
So the
And society says that too.
Right,
Like
yeah, and all the
it's
pressures
there's
of
and
how do
breast
you
is
do that
best. So your
well.
first job and only job
Yes.
is to feed that baby, but
Right.
with your breast.
So understanding how vulnerable you are when it's not going well or whatever, like you can be as prepared as you want and it can be like, So that would be, the very first. So it just was like a train, right? Of like, I could make a decision. My mom was in the corner being like, do whatever the F you want. It's like, but just like,
you couldn't.
You couldn't,
No.
till, so eventually got there and it was fine. But
Once you removed yourself a little bit.
It's just such a,
Yeah.
right. You're contemplating not only your baby's needs, but then it is that kind of crushing, like, who does this make me as a mom if I don't do this?
Well, what I love to point out to moms too is how our well-being and mental health impacts the baby, because that's what many moms don't think about. They're just thinking about the baby.
Right.
So it's like, well, how is this impacting you when you're feeling so anxious or if you're feeling so stressed or you're feeling so drained or sad? And it's probably impacting your supply too. And then how, so it's like if you are bottle feeding or formula, but you're happier and then you have more space in your mind and body to bond with baby and to be happy with baby, that has much more impact than, which milk you're feeding them.
I like to say to clients in all stages of life, women that are moms, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy.
Yeah.
Like, case in point, we are such the foundations of our household typically, and our well-being is most important. Putting on your own oxygen mask before others, right?
Right. Yes. Yeah. Like your needs get to matter.
Right.
In your family unit.
Exactly. Exactly.
Your story makes me think of my first time of feeding too, and I think of how we can experience guilt whether we have like an undersupply or oversupply, like no matter what, because I had actually an oversupply because of many reasons. My son had tongue ties, which Amelia diagnosed.
Shout out to Amelia.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, we'll have her on the pod too.
See,
so
this duo.
Yeah. So I had an oversupply, and I remember sitting in the rocking chair holding my baby, waterboarding him with my breast milk. and crying and being like, and he's like choking on the milk and there's so much coming out and I'm like crying because I'm like, oh my God, I'm torturing my baby. And just, so no matter what, it's like, I'm not feeding my baby. I can't feed my baby properly. I'm feeding my baby too much. I'm torturing my baby. I'm waterboarding.
You can't win.
It's like, no matter what.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, you can't. And my story related to that is just giving birth to my oldest. Her birth, I think we have this idea with your first that it's going to take forever, your birth, but it doesn't always take forever.
Yeah.
Mine was like fast and furious, which like so many blessings in that, but also not even like enough time to wrap my head around it almost.
Yeah.
What a shock.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It really, really was. And like the birth went super well, but like the after pains I wasn't expecting and being in so much intense after pain. We're at this beautiful birth center, Victorian bed and breakfast vibes, and she's sitting swaddled next to me, but I'm in so much pain. I couldn't even hold her. And I remember the midwife saying, that was the first time I heard the word. She's like, yeah, that mom guilt starts early. I'm like,
like mom guilt. What's mom guilt?
Mom guilt? What is this that I've also birthed? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, seriously. Along with the placenta.
Yeah,
right. The mom
Nobody
guilt.
talks about that either. Hardly anybody. Yeah, birth, placenta, mom guilt. That's kind of the order.
Yeah.
Well, the mom guilt can sometimes even come in pregnancy or trying to conceive.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a part of the deal. So
yeah.
No one is immune. I feel like I've never met somebody that said, I haven't experienced mom guilt. What's that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and I think part of it, right, is we societally tie so much of women's worth to having children, being able to do it. Your body's supposed to do what it's supposed to do, right? Like, I do think there's so much, of course, we absorb that we don't even know we're absorbing in a way, just living in the culture and society we do that, like, you can't breastfeed, you're going to feel like you're an utter failure because you've been told that is what your worth is and your value.
Right. Kendra, I can't let this go. An utter failure.
Yeah.
Did anybody else hear that? Breastfeeding, an utter failure? I'm so sorry. It's so inappropriate, but that's the first thing I heard.
Some levity. We need it. Totally didn't catch that. Yeah.
You're right. Right. Yeah, that is your worth to feed this baby.
Yeah.
And you can't.
Right. We see that with like clients going through infertility. It's the core, the root of that's the same place, which we could argue is, in part like patriarchal beliefs that like that's your role as a woman. That's where your worth comes from.
Be a mom.
If your body can't produce a
or
baby,
if you choose not to. That's what popped into my mind. If you choose not to be a mom, oh my God.
You're cast
not a real
aside.
woman.
Yeah.
Or, what's your worth? What are you going to do with your life?
Yeah.
Exactly.
You're
You're going to regret it.
You're choosing to travel insteid of having children. How selfish. And that's awful because I think, how amazing for everyone involved if someone is like, yep, I know, because you're not doing it for other people. You're not having children for other people.
Right.
You're like, that's such a big decision.
It's a gift to the world.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a gift.
So
to make that choice for yourself.
We love and honor the moms who also choose not to, and that's okay. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, I think we mother in so many ways. I mean, we talked about this at our Mother's Day episode where we can mother each other. We can mother our friends. We can mother a project. Yeah. We're always
a business.
Nurture.
Yeah.
A business. Right. Like, and I like, just like, can we move towards, obviously I identify with the term mother. I call myself a mother. That's what my kids call me.
Yeah. What else though?
Well, just like what I was thinking when you're saying the nurturing part, that, right, we tie like that's mom's job and that's associated with mom. But I also think like we shortchange men and dads so much in that respect that one, they can be just as nurturing.
Yeah.
Sure, maybe there's ways it looks different sometimes or societally we accept and we don't accept.
Yeah.
Right. But so much of that is like, do we have more choice in like what we decide is okay and is not okay versus it just is, right? Or people in biology. Well, sure, yes, that's part of the equation. But like, I see that so often too with new moms is when they describe like, right, their partnership or their partner or their husband or spouse, like helping even them maybe shift this mindset too of like, yes, he can also be really nurturing, or his
Mhm.
brain actually is physically changed as well. Not as soon as, not
Right.
as quick as yours, but it will the closer
Is
he
there a
is to
term for
baby.
that?
Well, I
'Cause-
do think there's a
Matrescence.
Matrescence,
Yeah.
yeah, but
Mhm.
that, I
Yep.
mean,
Yep.
fair enough. That's not maybe studied a ton too.
Same with postpartum depression for dads. They
Right.
experience that too.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. So just
Yep.
like,
Yep.
it would serve all of us to kind of like broaden these definitions and like stop
Absolutely.
making them
Glad
so
you brought that
gendered.
up.
Or
Right.
like, you know, because I think most, I mean, at least most of my clients, maybe there's a certain
Yep.
type of client I see, but right, they want more partnership. They
Yes.
want more equity in
Yeah.
like both being like equal parents, even if they
Yep.
do different things, right? Or whatever that looks
Absolutely.
like. Yeah.
And I think too, a lot of times partners want to step into that role.
Mm-hmm.
It may be this patriarchal society that we live in that is the one that's kind of dictating, even if I'm thinking about a heterosexual couple here, and even if mom would like dad to be more involved and dad would like to be more involved, we're all swimming in this patriarchy
Yes.
that tells
Mhm.
us
Yeah.
it has
Well,
to look a certain way.
yeah.
So here again with like the possibilities, I'm thinking,
Right.
even just talking with our clients and normalizing with people in our lives that like you get to write the story of what
Yeah.
parenting looks like.
Yes.
Like
And
if
so how
dad
do we
is
do
a
this?
stay-at-home dad. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
she loves her
Where
job.
patriarchy does look down on that. Like if a mom loves her job and a dad is
Mhm.
stay at home, what does that mean about the mom? Oh,
What's it
she's
mean
not
about the dad,
involved.
right?
Yeah.
Like,
He's lazy.
unambitious.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, there is an own set of pressures, right? That
Yeah.
it comes,
Mhm.
or I think, yes, to your point, even as involved as a dad wants to be, that there's a
Mhm.
pressure, even when wife may also work outside of the home, potentially, right? Make a similar more income. There's still inequity we see in what she's covering in the home realm,
Yeah.
but there isn't I think, right, like an intense amount of pressure many men feel still of like provider protector. And that's like, you made 2
Totally.
jobs, make she does really well, you suck. But it is a lot of pressure, and that's fair. But again, yeah, like what if we had broader definitions of just like,
Mhm.
and women also carry that in some respects
Yeah.
too, not in the same way, but I do think that's, you know, capitalism, if you
Yep.
looked at it from that lens, right?
Yep.
In terms of like, well, you know, you see it the most when you see them. I have a fair amount of clients too that are at home, working in the home, which I always say, you're working in the home, right? Partner
Mhm.
dad works outside the home. She doesn't produce an income from her work. Dad does, but what do we value more? The
Right.
person that is making the income and the money,
Yeah.
but yet he couldn't go do that unless you were at home.
Yeah.
That's right. It takes 2.
Right? And sometimes just that shift for the mom of like, you have to value the work you're doing more because you probably don't.
Right.
You might on the surface or consciously, but like there's beliefs you were bred in that would say like,
It's lesser.
it's not as
somehow.
valuable of work.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh. And the mental labor and capacity it takes to work in the home
Oh gosh.
is how do you even measure that?
Yeah.
At least when you leave the house to work, you kind of there's a way to measure what you've done.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of know when the job is done and you can shut down the laptop or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, but the
Be
work
off
at
clock,
home, right?
quote, unquote.
Mhm.
So
You're
different.
never
Never ends.
24/7.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and on the whole matrescence topic, how this applies to people that become mothers, whether that's through giving birth or your biological
Right.
child or not, adoption, all
Yes,
kinds
good
of
point.
things, like
Mhm.
still counts, still is just as
Yes.
real.
Yeah, both moms are going through
Of
matrescence.
course,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there.
Mhm. And a lot more resources and research that we need.
Mm-hmm.
Well, tell the people how they can find you, Kendra.
Sure, yeah. So you find me online. My website is pfmwellbeing.com. Website for information about types of problems I support people with. And then also you can contact me through there, even schedule directly on my online schedule if you want to do a phone consultation, which is complimentary. We just chat about what your needs are, ask questions you may have, share a little bit about myself. basically to feel outright it feels like the best fit.
And you're on Instagram as well, right?
I am. PFM Well-Being is my handle.
PFM
Been a little
Well-Being.
quiet on there, but you can look at what I historically
Yeah.
put up.
Yeah.
Lost my mojo with
It's okay. It's tough.
It
on
ebbs
social
and flows,
media.
doesn't it?
It does, but
Yeah. Love it.
yes, I am on there.
Okay.
And
And in Minneapolis or virtual,
yes,
you said?
virtual or in Minneapolis. I have office
Fantastic.
space right behind the Mark Arts Center. If that
Love it.
hopefully is central for most folks. Yeah,
Beautiful.
so in person and virtual options.
Do you take
Okay.
insurance?
I do not take insurance. I'm self-pay, but yeah,
Mhm.
can provide any documentation needed.
Mhm.
Always tell people go check if you have out-of-network benefits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can even check that on my website. There's a little
Oh, nice.
the little
Mhm.
Mintaya thing I use that you can
Awesome.
put in your info. It'll tell you if you do, because
Nice.
sometimes
That's
there's
great.
money on the table you could get back.
Ooh, that is such a good
Yeah.
to know. I'm gonna
Yes.
add that to my website.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Yeah.
And Kendra, are you accepting new clients right now?
I am right now. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I've some limited spots.
Fantastic.
But as always, things really ebb and flow.
Right.
Summertime can sometimes be a little more erratic with
Right.
people's summer schedules, but
Mhm.
yeah, no rhyme or reason I've learned 3 years and changing of like, when is it busy and when is it not? When do
No.
people need more help? When do they need less?
Every year it's different.
Yep.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, we learn to be flexible, don't we?
Yes.
And spontaneous and lean
I
into
do
the
my
quiet
own work
time.
and like
Yep.
everything will be fine.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a really fun
Yeah, it's
conversation.
been really fun. Thanks for having me.
Thank you
It
for
was a
joining
delight.
us. And thank you, everyone, for joining us on the couch. Bye. Thanks for hanging with us on This Is Not Therapy. If you enjoyed today's conversation, come back next time for more real talk, unfiltered moments, and maybe a little bit of laughter. Until then, take care of yourself, and don't forget, this is not